Yo, what is up? I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel of RWBY Mythology. Today I bring you guys a new RWBY What If video. Since you guys voted for this, which I'm kind of surprised and a bit salty about it. And since you guys voted for it, I might as well do this. And this might be the trickiest one, I guess, because this is actually the most hardest one I can ever do. And that is, what if Cinder Fall was adopted by Summer Rose? Now, what would happen if Cinder finally got the life she wanted? What if Cinder actually finally have a life? What if she finally been free from her torture and abusive adoptive family? What if instead of the Huntress guy met Cinder, what if Summer encounters Cinder? How would this change? How would this affect the entire RWBY volume? And how will it be of this scenario? So, I want to get this out of the way of the age gaps because now it gets too confusing. In the flashback that we got from Cinder, it's actually confirmed that she was age 15 when she was adopted by her abusive adoptive family. So she was 15, and RWBY would have been the age of 4, and Yang being the age of 6. Which means that Yang will be 7 years younger than Cinder, and RWBY will be 9 years younger than Cinder. And it's actually said how old Cinder is now in the current, that she's somewhere in her mid-20s in the beginning of the volume. So I would say 23 or 25. So that's the only thing I can think of is like your mid-20s. So let's just go with age 23 for when we get to volume 1. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a make a lot more sense. So Cinder will be the 9 years older than RWBY and Yang. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and start the story. So basically we'll start off the story where Cinder is dealing with the same routine and dealing with the abusive by her abusive, toxic mother. And everything was just, trying to do her best to survive the best she can until, well, Cinder sees a Huntress, an all-white robe, like a beautiful snowflakes blooming in the night sky. As she's into the building, Cinder is just amazed how beauty she was, until this white hooded figure pulled down her hoodie, reveal of her dark black red hair and her beautiful silver eyes. And then as Summer Rose, a team member, team leader of Team Stark, Cinder is amazed of how she is. And basically, everyone just greeting of Summer Rose. Everyone hears about her. Everyone knows about Team Stark, which Summer is appreciated of, recognized, but not interested of the attention. Cinder is basically amazed by this. And then until Cinder gets, get in trouble later on, sort of thing. And she's actually amazed of Summer Rose. Then until Summer actually hears a cry from the back. So Summer Rose rushed in to figure out what was going on. See the owner electrocuting the young girl, Cinder. And Summer goes to her, grab her hand, and take the device out of her hands. Like, what are you doing to this poor thing? And the woman's like, that poor thing, it belongs to me. She's nothing. Why should you care? Like, harming an innocent little girl to do your bidding makes you no different than the Grimm. You should be ashamed to yourself. Same goes for your daughters. And the woman's like, how dare you disrespect me like that? I do what I wanted to do with her. She has no purpose. Without me, she's nothing. And Summer's like, then you have no right to own her. She deserves a better life than be nothing but someone's slave. So Summer goes to the young, and instead her hurt, painful girl takes the collar out of her neck, see the scar, a bit of it, about to show itself. Summer introduces herself who she is. Cinder, well, being a bit of hostile, which Summer understands. And Summer asks her what's her name. And Cinder introduces her that she is Cinder Fall. So Summer offers a hand to Cinder that she will take her away from here if she trusted her. Take her somewhere that she could be felt safe and a place that she deserved a better life. Cinder wanted to get away from this. She wants to have a better life. She wants to be free from their grasp of the torture and abuse. They deserve to be killed, and so Cinder takes her hand and Summer takes Cinder away, but the owner trying to make her bring her back, and basically Summer just being savage throws a bunch of credits that you can keep the chain for the young girl. So I hope you find a way to forgive yourself. So Summer takes Cinder out and head back to her place and basically away from the city because Summer's living in the countryside. So as Summer and Cinder enter the house, Summer calls out her husband Ty that they have a guest. So Ty comes in and sees Summer, his beloved, beautiful wife, and Ty is wondering, who is this? With a smile on his face. Summer actually explained the whole situation and introduced her that this is Cinder Fall. She decided to take her out of her what she'd been going through after Summer actually explained the whole situation, which Ty actually felt disgusted that how these people were treating her for such a way. And so basically, Summer decided to go out of her way to adopt her, to be part of the Rose Xiaolong family. So Tai is actually glad that now their daughters could have an older sister to look up to. And Cinder was like, daughters? And they see little Yang and little Ruby are just playing around, and Yang just like messing with Ruby with taking her toy. Ruby trying to get Yang to give it back. And until Tai and Summer got their attention, and then they see someone else with their mother, and they meet Cinder Fall. Yang is like, Mom, who is she? And Summer introduced that this is Cinder Fall, your big sister, your new sister, and she's going to be part of the family. So now Yang and Ruby have a new sibling, a older sister, big sister actually, and Cinder, she doesn't know what to feel at the moment because everything just happened so fast, but in a good note. But she's still having a bit of a hostile and just don't trust anybody in with all the trauma and what she has gone through, which Summer would notice and completely understands that she's safe, no one's gonna hurt you, you're completely okay, just relax. And so Cinder kneels down to her two new sisters and can't help that she just wants to cry. Tears escape her eye to see that her new life had changed. A better life that she always wanted. Now she is free. The same anger and hatred that she built deep into her heart and soul of the torture, of the abuse, of the beating that she has gone through before she was even taken in by her new owner and be nothing but a slave. And now the voice in her head said without her she means nothing is completely gone. Now she has a new life, a new purpose to start over from fresh. Now she has a life, a home, a room, a food, and not at all, she has a new parents, a mother, a father, and a two younger sister that the people are gonna look after Cinder. Basically, Yang and Ruby will look up to Cinder as their idol, especially Ruby. Wait, why Ruby? Well, think about it for a second. We know Ruby looks up to her mother deeply, but I feel like Ruby would be look up Cinder a bit more, and of course Ruby does want to become a huntress like her mother. There's no change about that. Yang, she actually see her big sister as a cool and badass. And speaking of huntresses, Cinderfall does go into the training academy to be trained to get to Beacon Academy. Now, how will this change? Well, Cinder does meet one person there, and that is Amber. Amber? Well, yeah, I mean, would make sense to have Amber to be in the story, and we actually don't know much about Amber at all, honestly. So basically, Cinder actually made a first ever friend, which is Amber, before she became the Full Maiden. So basically, they both trained together, worked together, studied together, and Tai actually trains Cinder how to be skillful fighter hand-to-hand combat. And since Cinder's symbol is involved, well, glass, creating the base of glass, and she can create any weapons based off glass, she's a skillful fighter in her way. And thanks to the help of guidance and kindness, Summer and Tai, Cinder is actually become the role model for, even more role model for Ruby and Yang. Because, yeah, now in the scenario, Cinder is not how we know in the canon. I mean, she does tease a bit to, make the guys all flustered and all. And there are some people who think Cinder is kind of smoking hot later on when she grows up. But Cinder, she's all flattered and all, but she's not interested in having a man just yet. So, basically, in her first day in Beacon Academy with Amber, everything completely goes well. Cinder and Amber, they're the only two. And they need an extra 2 members. So, Ozpin decided that to give both Cinder and Amber a first ever mission to find the new 2 members who have their own experience outside of the academy. So basically, both Amber and Cinder do found and come across Emerald, who is trying to survive. And Cinder could relate to Emerald where she's coming from, trying to survive, trying to get food to get by. And Cinder is basically giving Emerald the offer to go with her to be part of the team, to start a new life at Beacon Academy. That she will have everything that she needs, food, water, bed, everything she needed. And Emerald actually takes the offer. Now they need one more person. And that's, they found Mercury. In this scenario, Mercury is still the same, but Cinder offered Mercury a new life. Sure, Mercury is still assassin, but his life was shitty because he didn't have no choice. He had to do what he had to do to survive. So Mercury has nowhere else to go, and if this new life of his that he's going to be part of will give him everything that he needs, supplies and food, and heal his leg, and he's still going to have robotic legs. So that does a change. So now we have a team. Cinderfall, Mercury, Black, Emerald, and Amber. I want you guys to come up with a team name for these 4 right here. And in this scenario, let's just say Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Amber do know about the Maidens and know about Salem. So yeah, and I think Ozpin would have them 4 to be in his inner circle and be fully trusted, honestly. Because, well, Salem did bring Cinder in the mix to know everything So it would be fair that Ozpin would have Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Amber to be part of Ozpin's inner circle without knowing that Salem is immortal. And another thing I completely forgot to, I actually been jumping the gun here. The loss of Summer Rose. How would this change? How would this change Cinder? Well, this is how I see. When after Summer read the story of the fairy tale in the fairy tale, and tells them that she loves them who they are, and basically Summer says her farewell that she will come back to Tai, and Cinder hears all this and she's a bit worried, so Cinder decided to follow her, which Summer stops and so tries like, that you should be in bed, Cinder. And Cinder comes out. If I say how Cinder would look like in this scenario, is like her before she actually goes to her training academy. So the hairstyle that she had, yeah. Cinder is like, do you really have to go, Mom? I mean, do you really? Like, yes, I have to. I have to do this. But then let me come with you. You've done so much for me. Let me return the favor. Cinder, you can't. It's too dangerous. I need you to stay here. Look after Tai. Look out for your sisters. They need you. I'll be fine. But what if you don't come back? You meant everything to me. You gave me life. You gave me purpose. I can't go on without you. And Summer goes to her like, oh, Cinder, you already have a purpose to look after your sisters. And you already know what's best. And as much I want you to come with me, I can't let you do it. This is something I have to do alone. You have to be strong. For me, for Yang, for RWBY. Please, look out to them and make sure they stay out of trouble. Alright? They need you. Can you do that for me? And Cinder breaks in tears, nods, and she said, yes, Mom, I promise. And Summer gives a kiss on the forehead for Cinder and tells her to go home and stay safe, etc. So after that, Cinder just heads back home with a broken heart that well, if anything happens to her, Cinder might blame herself. So basically everything plays out. You know, Summer and Raven go to their mission, even though Ozpin didn't know. And turns out when they found out that Summer is quote-unquote dead, this destroyed Tai, both physically and emotionally. And this broke Cinder that she didn't make it back home as promised. She felt hurt and broken, but she remembered what Summer told her. Look after RWBY and Yang. They need you. So that's what Cinder does. She decided to be the mother-like figure for Yang and RWBY instead of Yang. So this actually changed a lot. Instead of Yang be the mother-like figure for RWBY, Cinder takes the role of the mother-like figure for both RWBY and Yang. And you know the scene where Yang trying to find her biological mother and took RWBY with her? And they were saved by Uncle Crow by the Grimms? Well, instead, Cinder actually saves them before Crow does. And so basically, yeah, Cinder will make sure nothing happens to her baby sisters. Like, yeah. And she does scold Yang, like, what were you thinking? Do something like that. You couldn't get yourself killed. And Yang's like, I'm sorry, sis. I just had to find your biological mother. I know. But going out there alone with no experience, you both would have been killed. Do you really want that for RWBY? And Yang's like, no. So Cinder hugs both Yang and RWBY that they're glad they're safe. So she takes them back to home and explains what actually happened to Tai. Tai was shocked, but also so grateful that Cinder was there to save their life. And Crow actually saw him, and actually glad that he's still gonna keep an eye on them for safety, but it's glad there's someone out there who's willing to look after them too. So yeah, I forgot to mention that. That was my bad. I was a little bit jumping head to Cinder's journey to be in the training academy to Beacon Academy. So in this scenario, Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Amber are still in their third year in Beacon Academy. So basically they have a bit of rivalry with Team Coffee, and Team Coffee are in their third year as well. So yeah, that's basically how it works until, well, Volume 1. When RWBY got herself into trouble dealing with thugs, encountered Roman Tortrick, gets taken by Glenda Goodwitch, and Ozpen decided to have RWBY to skip her 2 years training academy to head down to the Beacon Academy, just like the original canon timeline. So yeah, I think Cinder is not gonna be pleased by this. That RWBY got herself in trouble again. And yeah. So basically everything plays out in the original canon timeline. Nothing completely changed. So that's why I'm gonna end this part here, and basically a starting part for Volume 1. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Tell me what you guys think. And how will this change? How will things be completely different? Who will be the one that would take place Cinder? Who will take place Emerald and Mercury? And how will this change? You just have to wait and see for part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channel, my social media will be down below the description box. You guys know the drill. Links to my Cash App, PayPal, and Ko-fi will be down below the description box and in my bio if you guys want to donate to support the channel. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. RWBY is love, RWBY is life. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys later.